Hey Stampers, it's Linda Schmidt with Stampin' with the Hounds. I am featuring another project that we did at my class event last night or yesterday. This is called the Pinwheel Tower Card, and what's nice is it's a 3D kind of decor item. That's a card, but it's kind of fun because it's a great way to use up your pattern paper, your designer series paper, and it doesn't take much cardstock, and it looks complicated, but it's super easy. So this is the one that we made yesterday. I also wanted to show you, because you know me, once I do one technique, I have to make like a bazillion samples to show you guys. So here's another one I did, and this one, these two, I went to town. Like, there's so much detail on here. I've got the little pearls that I colored, I die cut a bunch of holly, I did all the coloring here. And on this one, you always want to make sure that if you're doing an overhang, that it doesn't extend past your A2 card size, you know, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So make sure whatever flap that you're putting that on, it's not going to be longer than your actual card, so it'll fit in the envelope. So this one, you kind of flip through, got the little Rudolph, the glitter paper. Another one, I did some of the words of cheer die cut out. I did a little layering, more pearls, more die cutting. Yeah, so someone special will get this because it probably took me over an hour to make. So there's that one. So kind of fun. And again, because I love my little polar bears, this one, it's that velveteen. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's fuzzy. And then I put a little scarf on them, added the little snowflake that was in our holiday mini, the icicles. And again, kind of flipping through. And there's that iridescent snowflake. And then I did some more, so kind of fun. And then here's some non-Christmas ones. I did some fall. I love my little nuts about squirrels. So I kind of did my layering diorama, and I kind of made a little tree to make it look, I added some dimension. This is all with foam tape. Just to make him like he's peeking out of his little tree. And then this one, some of the pattern paper. And then I left the back part kind of like where I would put my greeting and there. So that one's kind of fun. And then this one is, this one I had kind of goofed up because I wanted this to be my front, but then I did my layering and I was like, oh shoot, that's not going to fit in the envelope. So, I mean, I could put it in a larger envelope, but so now my, front was this one. So when it goes in, people pop it out. But again, it doesn't matter when people set it up. You know, they're going to display it however they want. So this one, I thought was really pretty for Thanksgiving. Kind of just going through all of that. So super fun. And then I did another one kind of more springy using that. Fun. And then my little favorite whiskey business, this set. So again, I did my little overhang on there. And then kind of some other little die cuts. This one I did a little backwards because when I'm rotating through, it's a little more awkward because I goofed up on it, but it doesn't matter. It's still fun. But we are going to get started. We are going to start off. This is the one that we made yesterday. So what I'm going to show. So what your pieces that you need is, you need some designer series paper. And you want pieces, I find that if you find pieces that you like both the front and the back, that way you're kind of using up your scraps. Your column, the tower, is actually designer series paper. It's not cardstock. That is going to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that's this one. And you want to, when you score it, you're going to score it at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch. So this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to score at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And that's all the scoring that you do. that aside. Okay. Then what I like to do is to make sure I kind of score, I fold on my score lines both ways just to get some good movement. And then when you go to assemble it, you want, so if you want to see your trees when you look down, you want to make sure that you're folding it so that your trees, you can see them on the inside. So you're only going to put tape on this 1/4 inch flap. And, oh, here it is. So I'm going to use that. We're just going to put tape on this flap. And I just kind of hold that over. Easier said than done sometimes with I have so much glue on my fingers. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that's right on the edge. And then make sure that's flat. So now that's our column, and you can see the trees on the inside. Okay. So then I just kind of make sure with my bone folder that all my creases are nice and good. Okay. Then you are going to take, so that's your column. That was 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then assembled. Your cardstock flaps, you need 4 pieces, and they are to be 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And these can be all the same color, or they can be different colors. Mine are all the same color. So mine are all 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and I'm using garden green. And then what I'm going to do is you are going to put adhesive on this 1 inch panel. And then lay one of your flaps so that it's right up against that score line. And then press your flap down. Okay. Then you're going to put adhesive on this other 1 inch area and add another flap. And this is going to go right, you're going to align this so it's right on the edge of that. And then you'll flip it over and you're going to add glue. So same thing, you're going to add glue on this 1 inch panel or side or opening, and then add a panel, and then add glue again on this 1 inch area and add a panel. So there's your 4 sides to your tower card now. Okay. Then for your designer series paper, I chose paper. Oops. Oh, I got multiple pieces in here because I took out 2 packets. Oops, sorry. So I need, yes, I need 4 of these, and I need 4 of those. And then I've got my circles, and then these are for my other card here that I haven't made yet. Okay, so you're going to need 4 pieces, and again, I'm going to be using the front and back of this. So my designer series paper, pattern 1, is 2.5 by 4 inches. That's what these are. So again, it was 1 sheet of paper, but I'm going to use both sides. Pattern 2 is going to be 1.5 by 4 inches. So again, you can decide if you want to use all the same, or you can flip it around. And again, you can do, these can all be different. It doesn't have to be the same. I'm going to keep all of mine with the snowflakes showing on that. So now what we're going to assemble is, I like to figure out which one is my front. So as I'm putting this in an envelope, when it opens up, I like it when this larger one, the 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, flips to the left. Okay, so I'm going to make that my front, and I'm going to add my pattern paper that I want to be my focal point. So I'm going to use this little birch tree. So now this is my front, and then I'm going to turn it over because now this is my back. And I want the same thing. I want my birch tree to be my back piece. Okay, so this is my front. And then I'm going to take one of my 1.5 by 4 inch strips, and I'm going to put that on this smaller panel. So I'm going to glue this. On this side. And then now this is a large panel, so I want this striped to be showing. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back side, and I'm just going to flip this. So now there's my stripes. I have another small panel, so I'm going to use my snowflakes again. And now again, if you wanted to flip it over and use the other side of the paper, you can. I just wanted all of these smaller panels to be have the snowflakes in the plaid showing. Okay, and I'm going to flip it. So now I have another short panel, so I'm going to adhere my smaller snowflake pattern. Whoops. Whoa. There we go. And then I'll flip it. And I have another big panel, so I'm going to use my stripes. And then the last little panel, I'll put my final snowflake plaid there. Ugh, keep doing that. Try this again. Yeah, it's one thing with the liquid glue, you've got a little bit of playroom, but it also moves on you if you're not careful. Okay. All right, so now I have all of my panels done. So again, this was my front. So I want to put my focal point on this front one. So now because this circle and scallop is a little bit bigger than my panel, I've got a little bit of overhang. So I am only going to put adhesive on kind of that back side, or only on part of it. So the plaid part, I'm going to go ahead, and that can just be attached fully onto the scallop metallic circle. So I'm just going to layer that on there. Make sure not to move it around. And then I am only going to put adhesive on this back side. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my tear and tape, because it's a little bit easier sometimes to use this for placement. Let's peel that off. Oops. Okay, and then this will go on just part of it. so that just a little bit of that flap overhangs. Doo, doo, doo. Super cute. Okay, then that was my front. My back side, I was going to do my other punch. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do my reindeer. So this is our new little reindeer punch. Super fun. It's got the little antlers, a little Rudolph nose, and then the deer itself. So this one I'm just going to punch it out using the Sahara sand. I just have some scrap pieces here. And then I've already die cut my tree, so I don't have to redo that again. So I'm going to go ahead and punch out my entire reindeer. And then what I did is I took the cinnamon cider ink pad. I don't know what that was. And I'm going to just sponge his antlers so that they're a little bit, so they pop out, so they're brown. Instead of having to punch out another piece of cardstock, I just thought, oh, I'll just color it with the ink. So I just use my little sponge dauber and then a little bit of cinnamon cider. So now that's inked up. Put that over there. I'll set that aside so I don't get my finger in it. And then for his nose, I wanted to do, instead of using a gem, I wanted to use the red foil paper. So I'm going to just take a corner and just punch a nose out into my hand so I don't lose it. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And then I will then just do a little bit of adhesive on there. So it's just kind of sitting on that thing. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the tip of his nose. And then this way I can just take my little gem tool here, hold it in place while it dries. And then same thing here, put a little bit of glue on the back side. And then we will attach his antlers. You can also use glue dots here instead of your liquid glue. Okay, and then he is going to be popped up on the cards. I'm going to take a, actually I might do, do I have them still out? No, I'm going to do a little bit of a mini dimensional on here, so it doesn't show, and then I can use the normal dimensionals on his body. So we'll do one here, one here. Pop that up, and then my little reindeer will go right on the front. And then my back side, I'm going to flip it. So what I did is I had already punched out with the tree punch. I did two pieces. I did a piece of cardstock and then I did the pattern paper. And why I did that was I wanted this to be a little bit sturdier so that it doesn't bend when I put the dimensional on. So I am just going to add a little bit of glue to my pattern paper and then attach that onto the cardstock punch that I did. And then I'll go ahead and put my dimensional on the back. And again, the only reason I did this was just to give it a little bit more stability. And then we'll do another dimensional. A couple of those just to hold it in place. And that's just going to go on the back. And then on this tree, I took one of our holiday gems and just kind of put that on there. All right, so there's my front and my back. Then on one of my other patterns, so this is your front. Now for my greeting, you're like, well, where do I put my greeting, Linda? I have another piece of cardstock. So this one is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And again, I just chose a neutral. Here, I'll put this in here so you guys can get a little bit of a screenshot on there if you want to. All right. So this is my front. I'm not going to put it here because I don't want this showing. So I'm not going to put it here. This is just going to be pattern paper. This is my back. So I'm going to put my paper on this side. And what I did is I'm going to take a greeting. This one, it's from a retired set, but I just love the sayings in here. But I'm going to be using this one. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. For any of you who love the movie Elf, that is from that movie, that saying. And it's just one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's one I can watch over and over again. I can't believe Christmas is going to be here pretty soon. Oh, gosh. October went by so fast. And then it's going to be Thanksgiving. And then Christmas. But I'm happy to say I am almost done with my Christmas shopping. I just have to get one more thing for my nephew and then my mom. But otherwise, I'm pretty much done. And so what I'm doing is to get the 2 different colors, I'm just using the Stampin' Write markers. And you're just going to be using the brush tip. And then you just add your marker. So you always want to make sure that you're using the Stampin' Write markers, not your Stampin' Blends for this. Because the Stampin' Blends are not made for coloring your stamps this way. Okay, and then I will give it a little puff just to re-moisten that ink. And then because this is a photopolymer, I'm going to be using my stamping, my foam mat here. And we'll just stamp this kind of towards the top so that I have room to write my signature. Just press down. And then move straight up. Okay, and then this will then get attached onto... glue there to this back piece. And then that is your pinwheel card. So again, that was your front. So when it fits into your envelope, it opens up this way. That was the back. And then when I flip through my panels, I always want to make sure that this one kind of goes to the left. And then I've got my next one, the tree, and then your sentiment. So then people can display it. So super fun, easy, great way to use up your designer series paper. So I will list again. So here are the instructions in case you need to do another screenshot. But otherwise, thanks again for watching and for supporting my channel. And I will stamp with you again soon. Thanks.